Hercules and also to shine a blue light on municipal buildings. So my town not only did that, you know, they signed the proclamation and showing a blue light, but they extended it for like a week past the event. So we're still lit up blue, and now I'm interfacing with them to see how else we could raise awareness about Parkinson's disease and anything else that ails humanity. I'm trying to ignore differences between people and their beliefs because we're too divided. So I'm staying away from politics, even though I'm a politician, and I'm staying away from very hard stances that would polarize. Everybody's welcome. Years ago, when I lived in New York City, I started the Age of Heroes, and back then the monster was the digital divide. Some people had computers, and most people didn't have computers, and the people that had computers were able to access the internet, and other people were stuck. They didn't have emails, they couldn't apply for jobs, so it was a mess. Eventually, Bill Gates and other people gave computers to libraries and solved the problem, but for a few years that didn't happen. So we worked with agencies and individuals. We opened up a few drop-in centers in downtown Brooklyn where people could come and use computers, and there'd be volunteers there showing them how to get an email, showing them how to use the internet. Right now, my Age of Heroes is on health, because our health system is no longer sufficient to the needs of the citizenry, and also it seems like things might get a little less steady with that in the days to come. So we're trying to find all the information we can to help people find what they need and not to get stuck without health care.
Interesting. Hercules, have you ever dealt with Michael J. Fox since he has the same thing?
Not directly with Michael J. Fox. I've contacted his agency. I'm on the mailing list. I share the information that they have. They have a lot of excellent resources, and they have a lot of excellent events that people can get involved in. The ones I'm currently involved in is the PD Avengers and the Spark the Night programs. And can I curse on this show?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, somebody started a movement called Fuck Parkinson's.
I like it.
I'm looking for ways to get involved with that. They have a couple of videos and they have t-shirts at this point, but I don't know if they're doing anything. I'm not going to join anything that just want to sell t-shirts and make YouTube videos, but if they're actually helping out, I'm more than happy to put my name for that effort as well.
And Hercules, I heard you're in this book.
Yes, with you.
Yeah. and what did you...
the ghost book?
Yes. It's, if you can see the cover.
Ghost Persistence of Ghosts. Tim Schwartz.
Yep. And Hercules, I mean, I know what I put in there, but what is some of the stuff that you placed into this book?
I don't remember. I've been publishing over 25 of those books and numerous articles, and that's been a while already. But I've lived a haunted life. I'm not plagued by ghosts, but ghosts seem to be in abundance in my life. Elementals and the fae folk seem to be in abundance. I've always been receptive to them, and the culture that I grew up in rural Greece that influenced my family and that influenced my life here was full of stories of ghosts and elementals and gypsies and curses and the evil eye and things like that. So I grew up in that, and a lot of my reality was framed with it.
Most excellent. Let's say, Steve, what's been going on in your neighborhood?
Well, they're starting to advertise the upcoming Mothman Festival, which occurs every third weekend in September. This year, I think it's the 19th and 20th. It doesn't matter. Whatever the third weekend is, that's the way it falls. So last year we had over 30,000 people go through Point Pleasant those 2 days. It's Saturday and Sunday, and it's in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, of course. And I live here. I live right on the same road but the Scarberries and the Mallets were chased by the Mothman back on November 15th, 1966. So, we're gearing up for that, and of course, Jeff and the gang has a lot more to do. I usually I speak there on Sundays. Let me just give you kind of the lay of the land. Up and down Main Street, you've got all kinds of vendors, T-shirts, food, and so forth. On on 4th Street, which is perpendicular to Main Street, right where the Mothman statue is, and right next to the Mothman Museum, that's where the speakers usually have their tables. And they have their books there, and they're very accessible. And on the north end of town these days, in a Trinity Church, it's a great venue. We have, that's where the speakers are for Saturday and Sunday. And we always have a wide variety of different types of speakers, different topics, and so forth. I even usually speak I'm the last speaker on Sunday, usually, when everybody's driving home. So that works out pretty good. But and I'm also the MC these days. I mean, I've really become absorbed. And what I want to tell people is that if you do go to the festival, and it's crazy crowded, hard to find a parking space, hard to find lodging, but if you do go, stand in line on Saturday morning to get your ticket for the Mothman Hayride, because we take people into the dreaded TNT area, 9 miles north of Point Pleasant, and we have, it's kind of like a Halloween hayride, but we have 3 tractors, 3 carts. 2 of the carts are like proper hayrides with the bales of hay. They give me the old man cart with the nice comfortable seats, which I appreciate. You go in, and the men in black try to turn you away. They've got bullhorns, and this is a restricted area, that sort of thing. Fortunately, they're much more like the Keystone Cops and the men in black. I go in ahead of time and set up a bunch of giant spider webs and giant spider creatures with their eyes lit up. But the main attraction is that if you ever go into the Mothman Museum, there's a Mothman up on the ceiling. And my friends, John and Tim, they take him down, and they hide behind the old acid plant, and this is the ruins of the TNT area. They run Mothman down a wire. They have this ingenious low-tech hand-crank delivery system, and they light up his eyes with battery power, and they blast a sound effect over speakers. And it's just an absolute blast. The area is creepy enough where you don't really need anything. But guaranteed flyover of the Mothman. And it's so much fun being a tour guide and having the back and forth with people on the cart. And I'm going to give a spoiler here. Just when you think it's safe, I kind of lay it down and say, okay, we're out of the woods now, nothing to worry about. Well, there's 2 guys hiding in the shadows in ghillie suits, waiting to scare the living hell out of you. So it is really a lot of fun. It's worth braving the crowds, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of people pull together, but it is an absolute blast.
And Steve, do you guys ever talk about the Sacramento Mothman?
I haven't heard much about that. I've heard you talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's something I do not know much about.
Okay, and it's real simple. You just Google or Bing Sacramento Mothman, and everything will pop up.
Another kind of a winged creature, humanoid creature.
He was taking a vacation from West Virginia.
Yeah, I've been telling people he's in a condo in Florida. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and also too, like Chicago Mothman. There was a lot of sightings over there.
Well, I'm a little skeptical about the Chicago Mothman. A great researcher named Allison Jornlin, several years ago, she started researching that area. And the first thing is, I have 3 sources that tell me, 2 of them from MUFON, that some of the original sightings were coming from the same IP address. So when it first kicked off, Allison Jordan went in, and she, when people will tell a story and they make it up, they don't get everything quite right. Well, she found a lot of discrepancies with some of the sightings. She didn't reject them all, But anyway, she spoke at the Mothman Festival one year with talking about her research, and also the Van Meter Visitor Festival. And and she was viciously attacked for just questioning the possibility that some of these sightings may not be legit. So I've always been a little bit skeptical based on her research that it's. And here's another thing. Some people say, oh, it was the Point Pleasant Mothman migrated to Chicago. Well, here's one huge discrepancy. Mothman in the Ohio Valley was coupled with UFO sightings. People saw it. They had an outbreak of poltergeist phenomena. There's all kinds of high strangeness associated with the creature. Well, I haven't heard much of any of that with the Chicago Mothman. So I don't know what to make of that. I just tell people, just be cautious, and some of the Chicago Mothman stuff may not be legit.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with the Sacramento Mothman. There's one guy named Mark Greer claims that he saw this Mothman. Well, I interviewed him, got a story, and the story got spread around, went viral. And the story actually went on Monster Quest on the History Channel. And come to find out, 6 other people claim that they saw Mothman at the Tower Bridge. So it blows me away. I mean, what did they actually see? I mean, the one guy even called the cops because he was totally freaked out because he saw this huge creature jump off the bridge and fly off. So, I don't know. It's weird.
That's an
there's a history.
That's an interesting phenomenon. When my wife and I were actively investigating Pennsylvania, there was one case which we called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Badger. A lot of people were describing something that looked like a weasel or a cat, but it had a long body and it still looked like a snake, and it had white fur and had glowing red eyes. And we thought that somebody was just making it up. So we went and got the information. My wife did the research to see if it could be anything like biological that somebody could perceive in that way. And in the process of just basically trying to debunk it, we encountered people from 3 different generations in the area who had these encounters who didn't know of each other. So again, it's weird. You never know until something comes to light whether there's more shadow tied to it.
And we don't know if it's, when people say, well, Mothman's been seen all over the world. Well, winged creatures, apparitions have. But, if John Keel was onto something, and these were transmogrifications of energy, if they were temporarily physical, perhaps it doesn't always manifest the same way, even though it may be essentially coming from the same source. We had the Houston Batman of the 50s. We had the Wisconsin Man-Bat in the early 2000s.
You have Bat Squad.
That's a good point.
You got Bat Squads.
Dr. Donald Oman, he's a guy that exorcised the Loch Ness Monster. Yep. Anyway, he called it the Phantom Menagerie, that these things sort of pop in and out of. And that's kind of the term I like.
Phantom Menagerie. That's a good point.
On Demonic Reality, I think it was called. That's about the same subject.
And
what's that called again?
Demonic, spelled the Greek way, D-A-E-M-O-N-I-C, reality.
Daemon.
In Greek, that means in between.
Human.
Yeah, so
Human.
an angel can be a daemon, you yourself can be a daemon. If it's in between heaven and earth, or between earth and the underworld, it's a daemon. So
wait, you correct? No, even before the Greeks had got to, before they came and conquered some of Africa, even those original, not known to what most people know about, but religious practices, everybody believed they had a demon, good or bad.
yeah.
So by the time the Greeks, they were calling it extra human, but then the Greeks, did their own thing as well. But that is interesting. She said, everybody, so we might have a game in ourselves.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys,
You're very right.
we have 2 minutes left. So what we're going to do is take a 10-minute break, and you'll get a second link so we can finish up this interview.
Great, thank you. See you guys in a couple minutes.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right.
Smoke up, man.
Well, we actually, we got a minute and 38 seconds, so if anybody wants to tell any jokes, talk about any encounters they had.
I'd like to
Hey,
invite, go ahead.
oh, go. Get this.
I'd like to invite you guys to be on my show. I want to interview you as a group. So
Freak yeah.
Paul, give me your contact information, and I'll get in contact with everybody by the end of the week, and let's do it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
And also, too, you're talking about Mount Shasta. I did an investigation over there, and I actually believe that I encountered a Bigfoot. And, and we even took a picture, well, I took a picture of a UFO at Mount Shasta. And Tim Beckley and Timothy Beckley and Tim Shorts actually took the pictures from my Mount Shasta investigation and placed it into their book.
Wow. Yeah. The Mount Shasta is active, man.
Oh yeah, Mount Shasta is super active.
I don't want to, put me, but I don't want to say which day I'm actually going up there. But I'm gonna hit that up. I'm gonna hit it up really soon.
Remember, the last of the Lemurians live inside Mount Shasta. UFOs and military jets have been seen going in and out of Mount Shasta. Bat Squatch in 2009 was seen at Mount Shasta. Ghosts are all over Mount Shasta because of massacres.